Hi there, and welcome to Starlight Wellness. Thank you for tuning into my station and my channel. It's Ange here, and I wanted to do the April astrology forecast for 2017. And again, I have a little chart here that I made with the general themes and transits that are happening for April. So this April, again, we're entering into the spring season of new beginnings, of rebirth, the Christian tradition of Christ ascending, being resurrected. So we ourselves, in a sense, are rebirthing our lives generally. So what does the astrology say? Well, we have a full moon in Libra on April 11th, and there's going to be a specific aspect to the brightest star of Virgo at this full moon called Spica. And this star is going to be really important and a lucky star for very many people for the full moon on April 11th. We also have Venus that moves from being the evening star. So if you've actually looked up to the sky in the last few months since January, Venus was up in the sky after sunset as the evening star. She has now moved into the morning star. So she's coming up at dawn. And so that's very important as well. And that happened on April 1st. It also had Venus move into a 19-month cycle in Aries as the morning star. And that's going to be very specific for the divine feminine energy rising up from the evening into the morning. So I'll explain a little bit more about that. We also have Venus retrograde in Pisces on April 3rd. So Venus is already retrograde in Aries, and now it's moving out of this warrior planet of Aries and into Pisces, which is spiritual, which is empathic, which is more feminine in nature. So we're switching out of this Athena, Aries, feminine, warrior goddess energy into the more Aphrodite energy. And again, we have the full moon in Libra. Libra is ruled by the planet Venus, and Venus is symbolic of Aphrodite in Greek mythology. So we're transitioning the divine feminine from this warrior goddess, evening star, and rising up to the morning star and embracing more of her femininity. And when Venus is in Pisces, it's exalted. So it's almost like even more enhanced. The energy of the feminine Venus, of beauty, of love, of aesthetics, of pleasures, and all those beautiful things. We also have Saturn going retrograde in Sagittarius on April 9th. Now this can go both ways. It's an energy of push and pull. So it can aspect people differently, but generally speaking, Saturn is kind of a restrictive planet, a planet that wants to bring things into organization for us. And when it's in Sagittarius, the planet of higher philosophy, of higher truth, it's going to review how we are connecting to our higher philosophical truths and nature in our human lives, in our collective consciousness. And it's going to try to organize that or reorganize that. So that's a really important aspect. We also have Mercury going retrograde. Yay, Mercury is going retrograde again, April 20th in Aries. So we definitely have, with Saturn retrograde and the Mercury retrograde, this energy of reviewing things, of relooking at our perspectives, reviewing things that we need to maybe look at the fine print of what we started, because we had this huge energy to push into new beginnings at the end of March, to start new projects, to start new relationships, and now we're fine-tuning that. So that's kind of the spring energy wave that's coming this April. And so I'm going to get a little bit more in depth into these transits. So there are 4 retrogrades happening in April. Jupiter is still in retrograde in Libra. Saturn's going to be in retrograde. Mercury's going to go retrograde, and Venus is in retrograde. So we do have a little bit of a push of energy to reflect, to review, to revise things about our relationships, projects that we may want to start, business endeavor. Venus is also ruled of our financial life, our abundance, our pleasures. So it's going to be reviewing that as well. So we ended with the new moon in Aries on March 25th. At that time, like I said, Venus entered the morning star, which is so beautiful. We move away from the goddess warrior energy that was in Aries all year, and we're moving into the Aphrodite energy. And there's this beautiful quote from the cosmicintelligenceagency.com that kind of describes what's happening for a lot of women or people who hold divine feminine energy within them. And this Venus transit is really important for a lot of women, and I'll explain why. So it says here, Venus now as the evening star is a Venus that comes from the heavenly realm. After some sort of rebirth, newly renewed, she now shines her light not only for herself, but for the betterment of others. The evening star is considered more relaxed, chilled out, and ready to give more of herself, as the trials of late have involved sorting out her needs, and some self have liberated herself towards her true needs. That she can now be more ready, available for others. For now, consider the creative and loving pathway ahead, holding the torch of liberation to move again towards your authentic you, being yourself, loving what you do and like, having shed the guilt or shame, the fear, the control that others may seem to have enforced upon you. In the end, it's up to you how to manage these controls, the ties that bind. As Venus moves into her light, she is ready to wear her heart on her sleeve again, growing in light and confidence night after night. And then it goes on here, a quote from Koya, actually. And it says here, on the day Venus rises as the morning star in the sign of Aries, initiating a 19-month cycle in Aries. This is the last Aries-Venus cycle in our lifetime, a period when the Aries goddess, Athena-like energy, the wild woman, warrior, fierce feminine, is rising up to the world into balance again. It will be an initiation into mental clarity, emotional resilience, physical strength, and spiritual openness, and so on. And so it is really awakening the feminine consciousness to rising up as the morning star. She's now shining her true light. She is now shining her authenticity. She is now fully embraced in this authenticity, in this Aphrodite-like nature. Instead of the Athena-like nature, she's embracing this Aphrodite, loving, all-encompassing nature. And so it's a really big transit for a lot of women right now. And you might feel that within your environment and within your relationships. But it is a beautiful time. And another really important aspect is the full moon in Libra. So April 11th, 11 is symbolic for the twins. So 1 + 1 = 2. So it's like a twin, it's an energy portal. And it's aspecting the brightest star in Virgo, which is called Spica. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Spica. So Spica, from insightastrology.net, I have this quote. Oh no, my mistake. Where do we have this quote? From astrologyking.com. He talks about the moon conjunct to the fixed star of Spica, which gives success, honor, wealth, and love. Comfortable and secure living conditions always seem to be provided for. It also gives psychic awareness, insights into spirituality and religion. It can transmute above average sexual energy into artistic, creative, and spiritual work. So it's a very positive transit, and it's the full moon is also aligned with Jupiter with Spica, which is extremely lucky. And the generous fixed star Spica marks the beginning and the end of the zodiac. It's the ear of grain of Virgo's hand, which represents the seed of life, marking the position of the womb. Jupiter too brings growth, good fortune, and abundance. Great time for fertility, making babies, because this is Virgo's lucky star. So the full moon in Libra is just full of luck. It's full of abundance. There's an opposition to Uranus and a square to Pluto. But really, if you look at the astrology overall with the energy that's happening for the whole month, definitely there is this loving energy of Venus, of this Aphrodite nature, of just bringing in abundance for people, bringing in more love, bringing in more beauty, beautifying situations, beautifying our perspectives, healing those kind of relationship patterns, and if there's romantic patterns that need to end, it's healing those, bringing love back to them. At the end of the Mercury retrograde, Mercury and Venus will be conjunct at that time as well. And Mercury's all about communication, and with Venus, it's about love. So there's going to be, at the end of the retrograde, there's going to be this push about communicating more about your love. Love for yourself and love for being your authentic self. That's what Venus, the Aphrodite goddess energy, is all about. Truly loving who you are, being your authentic self, being your true authentic nature. So it's a really beautiful spring time ahead. It does have to do a bit with death and rebirth, you know, as we do every year. But there is this beautiful feminine energy that's healing into her goddess morning star. And so I think that goes over for the general astrology that's happening for April. And for the card reading, for anyone who wanted to stay tuned for the card reading, as always, I'm going to just pick 3 cards for the full moon in Libra for April 11th. And I'm going to be using the Crystal Tarot by Philip Permute. And it's definitely going to be an Easter themed energy because, again, with the pastel egg-like little shapes. And then I'm going to get a clarifying card from the Archangel Oracles by Doreen Virtue. So I'm going to pray over the cards and ask for guidance and healing. There's a lot of cards hiding here. And look, the Empress, the one I got last time, Virgo at her best. This is like Venus as well at her best, embracing her full femininity. So that's the card that just kind of popped up at me. So I'm just going to clear this deck from any lower energies and shuffle it. I'm going to ask the Lord or the highest source consciousness to bring in divine light and truth through the Holy Spirit, and to give us some guidance and healing for the full moon in Libra. So let's see what cards come up. So I have this card, which is the Tower, a major arcana card. We have the Chariot, another major arcana card. So this deck doesn't do reversals. And it's more of a, wow. And the Wheel of Fortune, another major arcana card. So what I'm getting from this reading for the full moon, full moons are all about completing something coming to completion. So if you watched my last video for the new moon in Aries, or the full moon in Virgo, I mean, last month, we were talking about Virgo, and we were talking about ending the 6-month eclipse cycle and starting a new eclipse cycle. And it looks like we still have the theme of something ending. The Tower is all about really cutting away things, people, places, or things that no longer serve you, no longer serve your authenticity, no longer serve your soul path. And the Tower is reminding us of that to ensure that we are truly aligned to that. But that's in the past position, so it's probably something in our recent past that's coming to conclusion, that's coming to full circle, which is the full moon in Libra. But again, Libra is all about balance, and it's also about justice. And in Venus, it's exalted in Pisces. It's about bringing justice to people's spiritual nature and balancing the masculine with the feminine, the yin and the yang energy. So the Chariot is all about that. And that's, again, another major arcana, the dark and the light, the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine, moving forward. And the Chariot here is symbolic of black obsidian, according to the Crystal Tarot. And black obsidian is all about shielding from negative energies. So we're shielding ourselves from these negative patterns or people, places, or things that we cut away, or that we were just ready to cut away and we're ready to let go of them so we can rebirth and be anew. And so this is what the Chariot's reminding us in the present for the full moon, is that we need to move forward and we want to be balanced. So as I was saying, it's really about bringing in the masculine, feminine energies and moving forward. Remembering that we cut the things and places and things or whatever that don't serve us, and to clear away from that negativity. If you want to use black obsidian during this time, meditate with black obsidian. That's your choice with your denomination. But look, you know, this is moving forward. And I have a sense that this is the masculine really moving forward. This is a lot to do with our masculine side that's cut away something and moving forward. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune as the outcome or the future position. And this is the number 10. And just a beautiful card. I love this deck. I love the pictures on this deck. And the Wheel of Fortune is about balancing earth, air, water, fire. So it's definitely very structured. And it's about a change in the time of our lives. So like a complete change. And it's for the positive because it's the Wheel of Fortune, of abundance. So the changes, the things that we cut out of our lives, and the action steps for us to balance ourselves and our relationships and move forward in that direction will bring us the fortune. And so I'm also getting the sense that this is our compass. This is the way to move forward, and not to be, there's a snake here. So it's kind of like, not to be misguided by any temptation of like a snake, because the Wheel of Fortune is our outcome. So that's very beautiful. And he's holding here this beautiful amethyst crystal, which I just love. I don't know if I have around me right now, but amethyst is also very good for tuning in with your divine consciousness, with your spirituality. And as we see in the Saturn retrograde in Sagittarius and the Venus retrograde in Pisces, there is a spirituality component here. There is this aspect of changing our lives from the 3D paradigm and entering into the 5D, changing how we believe or perceive spirituality is going to be a highlight for April. And that's the Wheel of Fortune, and that's what amethyst can help connect you to if you wish to meditate with that particular crystal. Again, that's from your own belief. So now I'm just going to give an overall energy with the archangels, which I found just beautiful because of this picture of this beautiful angel holding a rose, almost like reflective of an Aphrodite goddess energy. And I think I'm going to ask, you know, the archangels and the Holy Spirit to speak. What is the greatest and highest message we can take from this morning star Venus Aphrodite energy that's coming into focus? And also this aspect of Spica, the lucky star of Virgo, aspecting the full moon in Libra. So what can we receive for the highest and greatest good for all, for this divine feminine energy? And beautiful. Wow. You can't make this stuff up. So sensitivity comes up with Archangel Haniel. Archangel Haniel is the angel of the moon, and she's also reflective of Aphrodite. Like, you can't make this up. So she's here with a beautiful harp. I'm getting goosebumps. In a beautiful orchard with swans and Archangel Raphael playing beautiful music with the harp. And it says sensitivity. You are extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honor yourself and your feelings. So this goes for both the masculine and the feminine. We are sensitive to moon cycles. We can sense energy changes. And so this angel is reminding us to honor our sensitivity, to honor our feelings and emotions, especially at the full moon if they come up for you, and to use them as a guide, to tune into them, and, you know, to play nice music around, be around nice people, try to avoid any negative situations or circumstances, eat well, play nice music, get well rested, drink lots of water, honor your sensitivity. And I think that is a beautiful reminder of us to honor our feminine side, our divine feminine side, our Aphrodite inside of us. And so I think that wraps up the reading for April of the divine goddess within you and within all of life of creation right now on the earth. And I wish anyone a lot of blessings for their transitions right now during April, and to honor your sensitivity at this time if anything does come up for you. And I hope this brings blessings of hope and peace and love. And as always, take care. Much love. Thank you for watching. Ciao.